Hey Brian, how you doing? I've got your presentation up. I'm just trying right now to get, there we go, perfect. Okay, so let's start. Cover looks great, really nice. Now this color right here, I'm not real sure it's your best color. I think this inside cover here is begging for either the logo or an image. But I think this color right here you're using for your headlines, I don't know if it's the most harmonious color or the most exciting color. I think that we could use a little bit more vibrancy in that area right there, maybe even taking a color right out of your logo and using it. Okay, so contents page looks great, setup looks great, the pages look good size, really nice size for pages. 6 by 9 is almost it's excellent. It's a very harmonious page size approaching golden section. So great job there. Okay, so a couple of things I want to go through. Typography looks pretty good. You've got some widows. There's a widow, and you've got some orphans and widows. And right there, there's a widow right there. A widow is a word that sits at the end of the line alone, and an orphan is a line that sits on its own alone. So you want to watch for that. I think I saw one or two more right there. Hospitals. Next page, there's one. Shapes. Games. Okay, you can go through. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go back to the top. One thing I recommend is I'm not real sure what your grid structure is. You definitely have some good alignment going on, but as far as your grid structure goes, one of the ways I check grid is this. Okay, so you've got your headline over here. Let's start with the left-hand side. Okay, so here's history. Right now, you want to set a cadence by setting your headline in the same spot each page. And it doesn't have to be every single page. You can break that every now and then. But the last thing you want to do is the viewer to have to jump around, their eye jump around looking for the headline on different areas of the page each time they turn a page. I'm going to place my cursor right over to H in history. Okay, geography looks good. City jumps down. Okay, then jumps up to art and culture. This page doesn't have a headline. Nightlife is where arts and culture was. Weather and climate jumps down a little bit, back down, and then back up again, then back down, and then from there on, it seems to be in a pretty consistent spot. Pattern studies jumps up a little bit, design development, but right at this point, it becomes consistent right there. See, so we go on, and every headline from that point on is consistent. So I would say go ahead and keep that consistency. Like I said, you can break it out every now and then, but not as much as you did up here where it's jumping around on each different page. It's jumping around. It causes too much eye movement, a little bit of visual tension. It's called static movements, and it's eye movements that jump around the page, and it's uncomfortable for the viewer, even though it might be subconscious. Let's look at the headlines on the left page. See how these are really jumping around? So watch that, and that points all to consistent use of grid. Okay, like I said now, it doesn't have to be every single page. You can move some, but you want to maintain some consistency. Okay, let's jump back up to the top. Moving down, your type looks good. I'm not real sure what your grid is laid out on here, but definitely if you could show me a version with your grid, I would really like to see that. I'd like to see the underlying grid on these pages, if there is one. It's difficult to tell right now. I mean, you've got some good alignment, you've got some good 2-column type. That's smart. Your type columns are not too long at all. Character count is very, very manageable. Excellent job there. Image placement looks really good. Nice pacing, good timing, good cadence through the presentation. That's excellent. Okay, so we've got mission statement, history, good, geography, great, the city, fantastic, arts and culture, fantastic. This page doesn't have a title. Art and culture, would this be, I don't know if that would be a continuation of art and culture, but I'm not sure. It seems like this page is Wabanaki cutouts, so I'm not real sure if that is part of art and culture. Another solution there would be art and culture and do Zakopane style as a subhead and the Wabanaki as another subhead. Okay, nightlife looks fantastic. Recreation, again, looking real good. This page here, I don't know, man. I think this page is it's a really good page. I love the bleed on it. Some of these pages look like they were just begging for your graphics, like that sign back there, and maybe even these borders right here, looking for your fifth element or some sort of placement of your. Same thing here, maybe with your logo on the land of the ski jump or something, the landing area of the ski jump or something. That's up to you, though. Not, I mean, I know you've got plenty of placement images. Possible concerns. Transportation. This page is really stark. I mean, you've got images on every page but this page, so that would definitely be calling for images there. Concept introduction, fantastic. Now this is beginning of phase 2, so good job. This page looks really good. Nice mechanics. Okay, now let's look at the setup of your 3 logos. Okay, so each of the first two, you've got the headline and then the subhead, subtype, the body copy. Headline, body copy. Next page, headline, body copy. But this page, you don't have the headline or the body copy. So, and then over here, I think that you get some regularity in this setup and stick with it through all 3 presentations of your logo. For example, your setup could be this. There's your image, inspiration image. There's your sketch. There's your black and white. There's your logo. There's your type. There's your color scheme. So here you would have the same thing, inspiration, and then you've got your sketch to the left of your black and white. So do the same thing there. And then you've got your color swatches on the bottom. So do the same thing. Follow the same formula so you create some rhythm between those 2 pages. Over here, this completely breaks that rhythm. So I would set that up, even though this is a Panzenica variation, I would still say Panzenica concept and set this whole logo set up the same way that these other 2 pages are set up, very consistently. This page right here is another reason I'd like you to use the whole spread for this logo, is because you're introducing pictograms. So the illusion here is that these pictograms are associated with this logo. For that reason, I'd like you to start the pictograms on a separate page and keep them on the separate page. So I'm not sure if that would entail bringing this to a different page, because your pictograms should be isolated on one page. Then you have this development introduction and this paragraph here. That should probably start a new game, development introduction. So that's phase 3, design development. So definitely we would want to start that on a whole new spread. Okay, and then you would have, and you could even, work that in here somewhere, as long as you have this consistency through the pages. Pattern, study, sign concept, tickets. And then this is really good. The rest of this is really good. This stuff right here. Athletic events and spaces looking good. Tickets. Athletic apparel. Every page has a subhead, so a headline. So every page should have a headline, including this. Even though they're just placement images, let's get something here. Maybe even athletic and event spaces continued, or design development continued, or something like that. Or maybe just use design development on the top of the page for, I don't know. Work that out though, because this page doesn't have any type on it all, so it seems a little bit inconsistent. Athletic apparel, this is a good solid page right here. Clothing apparel looks great. Yeah, looking good. The rest of the presentation, I think, is looking good. Now, I did have some other comments regarding, placing some sub graphics on here, some of your supporting graphics on the poles, and using an image with people, actually with people in it instead of an empty airport. Good job over here fixing those concerns. This, I still think that looks a little forced right there. So that image, yeah, I would work on that. Everything's looking really good. That's a great page right there. Very nice, except for the widow right there. This type right here looks like it's forced. It's kind of looks like it's squished in there. It's a little strange right there. Now, and then one thing I wanted to say is that you talked about adding the path of the Olympic torch, but you're bringing that in at the end of your presentation. To me, that doesn't make sense, because wouldn't that be at the beginning of the presentation, since the Olympics start with the running of the torch? That's what I'm thinking. I think that would follow a good, solid conceptual path. Since the Olympics begin with the running of the torch, I think the presentation might be a little inconsistent if it were ending with the running of the torch. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so then you've got definitely need sorry about that. Definitely need a page where you cite your sources. Definitely. All of these images, everything has to be cited here. So make sure that you include that citation page. That's very, very important. Okay, other than that, boy, you are just looking gorgeous here. So really, really nice job. You've been working very, very hard, and it's definitely showing. So great job. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.